Hey y'all, and welcome back, or if you're new around here, hello and welcome. My name is Katie Marie, and on my channel I like to play with makeup, and we have really relaxed, get ready with me, unedited type of get ready with me videos. And today I'm excited to be using a new palette that is about to launch or just launched. This is the Odens Eye Earthwood palette, and it's in collaboration with Fancy Face. Now I've done a couple videos so far, I think two currently on this collection that's coming out. Is coming out on Valentine's Day, the 14th, and I have no idea when I'm posting this, so if it's already passed, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to get these up as fast as possible, but I've already done a look using Annette from Annette's Makeup Corner, her palette collab, which is right here, which is also beautiful and stunning. And I've also swatched the entire collection, unboxed them for you in a really relaxing music only type of video. So I will leave both of those linked down below and probably up here. But if maybe swatches are, you just want to see some swatches before the launch, that type of thing, hopefully that video is helpful. Or if you're wanting inspiration and you're curious about the Mighty Monsters palette, that one's already up. We're doing this one today, and then hopefully in a day or two I will get to the other palette in this collection, the Spring Dragon palette, and this is in collaboration with Judy. So that's my plan. This is what we're doing today. We're gonna dive right into it. I'm gonna hopefully keep this video not too long because it's actually in the morning, which I don't usually okay, brief interruption there. I had something in my throat. I had to go cough and get a drink of water. But anyway, I was saying I'm still in my PJs. It's early morning. My kids are still sleeping. They're starting to wake up. I hear a little what, my youngest starting to talk in her bed, but I need to get ready for the day and actually have somewhere to be today. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna squeeze in a video, do an eye look, 2 for 1, you know? So we're gonna jump right into it. As I said, I'm gonna try to not let this video go too long because, as I said, I'm on a time crunch. That is my children waking up. So I want to try to get this look done before, namely my youngest, gets up, because my oldest can just hang out in my bed for a minute while I finish my oldest kids. But the youngest, she could come in here with me because I wouldn't let her, she wouldn't hang out in my bed anyway. She's a year and a half, but she could come in here with me, and that just might lead to my room looking a lot differently because she loves to dump my makeup drawers out. She thinks it's the funnest thing, I think, just to hear all the noise it makes. Anyway, I'm using this glam light. Man, early morning. I have not filmed a video early morning in so long. Anyway, I'm using an icing eyeshadow base. I feel like my voice is just like, why are you making us talk this early? So here is what the palette looks like if you missed it. It's very pretty. It's very dark, and I'm very intrigued. Like, when I've already done one look with this for Instagram. I don't know when I'll be posting that, but if you want to follow me on Instagram, Lady Katie, I'll be posting that over there at some point. But it's very interesting because you only have a few pastels here and then so many dark shades. The dark shades are really deep. I don't know, it's just an interesting color combination, and it's challenging for me to like think of creative ways to create a look with it. So we're just going to dive right in. And in fact, I'm going to, no, I don't want that brush. Let's go in with a small little packer brush. Honestly, I can't even remember the look I did for that Instagram video. I do think I used, I think maybe these two with, you know, dark shades. So I'm going to kind of go with the peach and probably the brown today. I feel like that'll be a fun combo. So I'm going to start with this dark brown. Let's see how dark it is. It's called Wood. We're going to pack that on the outer corner. I really love Oden's Eyes matte shadows. I feel like that is, I mean, I feel like a lot of people do, not saying anything unique, but their mattes are just so beautiful, honestly. Just very creamy, very pigmented, and easy to work with. I love an easy matte to work with. Obviously my face is already done, so I'm going to try my best to be clean and orderly and not too messy. And I'm just going to blend this out like so, and I'm also just going to take it, and I always forget to do this when I finish my face makeup, but I'm like, you know what, you could just carry it on down and do your lower lash line as you do your top too, because I usually always would wait, because I'm someone who always, when I'm not filming, and I have all the time in the world if I am filming, but if I'm not filming, I always do my eyes first. It's just so easy for me. But anyway, packing this on here. This is a nice, pretty deep brown. It's not the deepest, like deep brown, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I think it's good to have more of a mid-tone brown here with so many dark shades. Like she has a dark green and a dark purple that will go deeper than this. So I like that versatility of this being a dark. I'm not saying it's not dark, but it's a nice deep brown, but definitely not like the deepest brown that you could go. And I think that was a good choice, because too many deep shades, then it's kind of like, you know, you could have just used the purple or the green to deepen up the brown, which honestly I might tap in and do a little bit of that, because you know me, I like to go deep in my outer corner. But this is definitely a nice deep brown, especially for a light look. This would be beautiful. So I'm going to touch into, let's do just a touch of that dark green. Leaves. Let's see, I'm going to stick really low. I'm not really wanting to mesh and like take over this brown. I still want it to be obviously brown, but the very center of where I place the brown, I want it to be deeper. And look at that, just so beautiful. Now it's nice and deep. I love shades or eyeshadows that can go on top of each other like that and not get weird, or I don't know, you know how, if you've been doing eyeshadow for any length of time, I'm sure you're familiar. Sometimes they just don't want to mix, or they won't stick, or they won't meld and mesh together. But that is a pretty seamless. I just went back in, I don't think I said, but I went back into the brown, and now I'm tapping that over and just giving it a blend to make sure we have a deep center, but everything else is still nice and brown. Okay, I had to make a cut. I had a kid wake up. First kid is up. We're gonna dive into this shade here, which is called Earth. And let's put this right here. You have to let me know what you think about this collection. At the time of me filming this, this is the first video I'm filming after the announcement. So I've seen some people talk about, you know, some people's reactions in response to it on my initial video, because I posted the swatches as soon as they revealed, not as soon as, 6 hours late, because that's just how I roll these days. Even when I try to plan ahead and make sure I'm on top of things, I'm always late to everything. Anyway, I posted, that was the first video I posted. I had it ready to go for whenever they revealed their collection. So I've seen a couple of comments, and some people commented on that. A lot of people are saying that like it's not unique enough. Like it's very springy. The palettes are very spring theme, which I do agree with, but it's not unique enough or call them enough to get, or I forget the wording, but basically they weren't inclined to get it, which I think is interesting, because I feel like that's something for me, or maybe it's just not unique as in like never before seen collection, but the way they are, the colors they chose to put together, I feel like is pretty unique and different from what I feel like I usually see in the spring. Like take this palette, there's so many deep tones, but then you have these pastels there, and then the shimmer she chose with it I find so interesting as well. I don't know, I just feel like the color choices they put together is unique. But then when I sat there and thought about that comment of saying like, oh, you know, it's not that unique, I can understand that, because like in the grand scheme of things, I'm sure I have all these type of colors in other palettes as well, so I do get that as well. But I don't know, just something about this collection, and it could also absolutely just be packaging for me, because you guys know I am a sucker for packaging, for pretty packaging, and I absolutely love the palette. So maybe I'm probably giving more grace to this palette, or to this collection, just because it's so beautiful. Like I think that's something with Oden's Eye, like if you had never bought anything from Oden's Eye, you don't need to own everything from them. I'm not someone who says that, but if you don't own anything from them, I would say pick your favorite, most unique color story that they have and that they've ever released, and buy that and just enjoy that palette, because it's just something so beautiful. Like this is a work of art. I feel like just looking at this, it could be framed and on a wall. Like it's so beautiful, and I love the vibrancy of the colors. I love the different like shiny bits in the palette. I don't even know what you call that, but the reflective bits. Here I am wasting time when I am on a time crunch. But anyway, there's something special and just so beautiful about Oden's Eye palettes. So no, you don't need every palette that Oden's Eye releases, absolutely, but if you've never bought one, I do feel like owning one is a very special experience, or just a very special piece to have. It's very, you know, it's very collectible, and I think they do a really good job at that, Oden's Eye. Okay, so now we're going to go into that pink there. I really hope it was the green and the purple that I used in the other look that I did. If not, oh well, sorry, but I'm trying to change it up. Oh yes, and I didn't say, I usually do say, but excuse my nails in this video. I had press-ons last week, and I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've put press-ons since we moved to this property, like a little over a year ago, or at least since we got animals. Anyway, it's been a very long time, and surprisingly they lasted about a week, which honestly I thought they would just last a day or two. I put them on a Sunday because that's like my break day, where we're not doing too much like outside physically with the animals. So I was like, oh, I'll wear it for today. We're going to the service, something special, and then hey, they'll pop off on Monday. But they actually, I had one nail pop off, I want to say, with the thumb pop off on Monday, I think. But I put a little glue and put it back, and then nothing else popped off until, let's see, Saturday, so almost a week. And honestly, like, I was pouring concrete and helping my husband with stuff like that, so I don't think much would have lasted even if it was fresh. Like, it was pretty physical labor that day. But if I didn't pour concrete, it might have lasted a few more days. You never know. But anyway, I was very impressed. So I'm like half off. I really need to take the time to just remove the other half, but I have not taken that time. So here we are, half press on nails, half not. And oh my goodness, after pouring that concrete, my hands, you know, it doesn't look too bad now, but they're super dry. And then the day afterwards, on Sunday, I guess, after service, I planted a couple of trees. We have some apple trees that I've been wanting to get planted. So when the kids were napping, I was like, you know what, let me just go do this. We were about to get some rain. It's a good time, you know, before that to plant some trees. So I did that, and then my hands are so dry, and then I was in the dirt and the soil or planting the tree. And when I went inside and washed my hands, like in all of the crevices of like my dry hands, there was soil and I could not get it out. I looked a mess. So honestly, my nails are not as bad as they looked a couple days ago. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, the dryness and then planting or working in the dirt do not mix, because that dirt just like sucks or like sinks into the crevices, and then it's like, I'm not leaving. So anyway, where did I get off on that side tangent? I'm so sorry. Here I'm supposed to be talking about the palettes, and I'm talking about my dry hands. Okay, I think this is beautiful. So, so pretty. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of that brown that we first started, the darker brown, and just meet up and, I don't know, love tap around here like that. I can't believe Sophia is not talking more. I'm pretty sure I heard her, so I think she's awake, but I think she's just chilling in her bed. So that's awesome. And if you're new to my channel, my daughter's, her room is literally like on the other side of this wall, like very close. So don't worry, I can hear her if she needs me. But she's just very content, which is awesome. I really like that. It's not uncommon for her to just chill in her bed for a bit before she starts calling and saying like, okay, I'm ready to wake up, which is very uncommon for my kids. She's my fourth child. My youngest is, we've had 4 children, and she's the only one like that. Like, all of my other kids were, the moment they rolled over and opened their eyes, they were like, get me out of here. So it's she's got a very different tempo than we're used to, which is not a bad thing. Okay, I'm gonna go put on NYX glitter primer, because we're going to do the eyeshadows, the shimmers. I really like how that pink and brown meld together. That's super pretty. I thought it looked more of like a peach, but on the lid, I feel like it's very pinky. It's very, very pretty. And I don't know what I'm gonna do for the lid. I feel like the shimmers are the hardest part for me to decide what I wanna put on my lid. And I think it's just because I'm so indecisive. Like, I feel like any of them could go. So then trying to only pick one, it's like, I just get stuck where I'm just like, I don't know what to pick. And then I hem and haw for forever. So anyway, let's see. I know I use this shadow in the Instagram. It is a multi-chrome, so I won't use that today. I'll use 2 other shadows just to try something else and change it up. I think we're gonna go with, this is the brightest, and I'm really curious how that'll look. I feel like it'll be really pretty on the inner portion of this. So we're gonna go with this, and then, should I go brown? Or this charcoal? I could even go this, oh, this is like green on the outer corner. I think I'll go with these 2. Let's do this one and this one on the lid. So that's Coast and Blossom. I just feel like it's gonna be a good idea, so that's why we're doing it. Literally the only reason. This one is super, Coast is super bright, so I've been eyeing it, so we're gonna use it. Maybe it doesn't necessarily go with pink, but I wanna use it. So I'm packing on my brush. It looks like it could be a touch flaky, so I'm going to proceed with caution. I didn't mention, but I have no fallout on my lower lash, or like my lower cheek area from all those mattes. That's awesome. Anyway, going to place and tap on first so that the tackiness of that primer can kind of grab onto any flakes, and then we'll smooth. So yeah, it definitely has a little bit of like texture flakiness to this shadow, but has a nice amount of color to it as well, which I'm glad to see. Because you guys know me, or if you're new around here, I like sparkle and I like shine, but I also like just like a bold color. So I know a lot of people like the iridescent, shifty, sparkly shades. I don't like them as much. I mean, they're pretty. I enjoy them. I'd love to top them over some solid color, but I just like a lot of color on my lids. So something like this that's so bright and vibrant, very pretty. And honestly, putting it on, it doesn't really show up that like seafoam blue. It almost just looks like a silvery color. So that's very pretty. It's definitely a shade, and this is also too because I do have my face done, but it's a shade or it's a formula that I need to be really careful placing so I don't make a mess, because there's definitely texture in here. So if you're someone who likes textured shimmers, this is probably going to be a shadow that makes you very happy. I'm not someone who loves texture just because of the flaky aspect of it, but this is a textured one I can work with, so I'm not too mad at it. And it is very pretty. If you were, like I said, someone who likes texture is probably going to be super excited about this shade. And it is really, really beautiful. It's a lot lighter, and like I said, there's not as much of that blueness in it that I see. It could very well have a lot to do with the shades I'm putting it around with that pink and brown. And so it's just not, that blue isn't standing out as much as if I had it against cool tone or matched with cool tone shimmers, or cool tone mattes. So something to keep in mind. But on my lid, it's just looking very bright and beautiful. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit more to kind of, you know, how I do, cut the crease in a very lazy way like that. And I'm going to now flip that same brush over, and we're gonna go into Blossom. And I'm gonna put that on the rest of it. And then if you're new around here, what I do is I go back and forth until I like how the two shades mesh. Ooh, that's a pretty purple. It looks very, I mean, I guess it does look purple, but it has more of a taupey, like grayed out look in the pan, which I guess it does on the eyes. I don't know. When I just first placed it down, it almost looked like violet type of light purple. But definitely these two go, I think, together really nicely. Ooh, that first shade I put down has like bright green sparkle to it. That's very pretty. So there's that. These two shades, this one that I'm working with does not feel as like it has as much texture and flakiness to it. So it is still really soft, and I feel like could get messy if I wasn't, you know, going carefully, but not as bad as the lighter color, if that helps you at all. I know with the Oden's Eye, they have so many different type of shimmer formulas, which is awesome. I think that's neat that they really play around with their shimmers and don't just have one type of shimmer and, you know, don't give anything else. I mean, they have multi-chromes, they have flaky shadows, they have soft shimmers, they have like a very gentle shimmer, they have metallics, they have so many different varieties and textures and formulas, and I love that about them, because I feel like that can really cater to a really nice wide audience. But there are some shades, or there's some formulas that I'm not a huge fan of that they come out with, so I know it can be difficult if you're looking at a palette trying to decide if you want it when you don't know what texture they're putting in there. So hence why I try to go really in-depth and detailed, maybe boring, maybe really boring, but I try to be as detailed as I can when describing the shimmers, so that hopefully that helps. Because before I was on Oden's Eye PR list, that's the one thing I would watch videos with their launches and try to figure out if I would like the formula of the shimmers. Honestly, I do that with any palette that's come out that I'm interested in. If I'm not experienced with the brand, not only do I try to figure out if I'll like the mattes, obviously, but the shimmers, I really pay attention to see if they're a type of shimmer formula that I would enjoy. That's why there's some indie brands that really, you know, are heavy. Not saying this in a bad way, because I think whatever type of formula you like, you can produce. But there are some indie brands that are heavy on the chunkier formula, or the more, what do you call, more just all sparkle iridescent type of eyeshadows. And I haven't tried them yet, just because I know I'm not going to be a huge fan of the shimmer. So even though I think I'd like the mattes, it's like, I'll try something else, or I'll, you know, use a different palette that I know I like the shimmers of. Anyway, just being all sorts of rambly on this video, I'm sorry. We're gonna go into that first dark matte wood, or dark matte, it is matte, but dark brown. Tap over that purple just to make sure it all meshes. And then as a final step, I don't know, I like to go one more time over with not adding any product to the shimmer I use on the outer corner. I just like to go over that matte, and then using the lightest color, I do add a little bit of here just because I have to go over shimmers. I'm going to tap over these two. And I think that is going to be the look. We're gonna finish up with the lower lash line. So let me grab a tiny brush. That's a little too big. I like tiny, tiny brushes for my lower lash line because it's just, my lower lash line doesn't like to be messed with. So the tinier the brush, the better it goes. I will be doing liner and a mascara, but I will not have time to do it on camera. Oh, excuse me, I had a burp. There is some fallout on my cheek, just a FYI. Anyway, I'm not gonna have time to do it on camera, so I am going to go ahead and once I sign off, I'll finish up with this eye look, and then at the end I will just insert a finished picture or a little video of it. Okay, so for the lower lash line here, should we do the purple? I feel like the purple would be very fitting to tie in what's on top. So we're gonna do that. This pastel purple, which is Vitality. Their pastels are really nice. Like that pink is a beautiful and so vibrant. I love pastels that stand out. I can't stand a pastel that's so light that it's kind of hard to see. It just looks like you have something chalky on your face. I like a pastel that you can look at and say, oh yeah, that's a purple, or that's a pink, that type of thing. And both of these, and the green too, because I use that in the other look, very nice pastels. Very, very nice. I feel like in the past 2-3 years, the brands have, indie brands I should say, I do not try many mainstream brands, especially their pastels. I just haven't tried them yet. But indie brands have really nailed down a solid pastel formula. I'm thinking like Blend Bunny, Give Me Glow. I think Nomad even came out with a pastel palette or had pastels in it recently. Who else? Simply Posh Cosmetics, oh my goodness, Cosmic Brushes. So many really good matte formulas that are out there, and I think that's awesome because I do remember when I first got into makeup in like, when would that have been, like 2014, 15, it was kind of after I got married that I really just started playing with makeup and color and stuff in my makeup, but the pastels were not good that I was into. And I also was into more mainstream makeup when I first got into color. When I first got into color, that was the reason I turned to so much indie, because indie really did color well. I tried to do drugstore color. Anyway, but yeah, so many good options now. I really like that purple because I feel like it ties in the purple from on top so well. I kind of want to put a little bit more of that. I know, I should be wrapping it up here. I have taken way too long. I was like, I'm gonna keep this video under 20 minutes because I'm in a hurry. But the kids are just chilling and laying in my bed, and then Sophia's not waking up, so I'm just pushing that envelope a little bit. Okay, now I'm done. Almost. No, I lied. I gotta do an inner corner, but there's nothing really in this palette for an inner corner, so let me see. I might sneak into another palette. Yeah, we're going to. I'm gonna take Annette's palette, the Mighty Monsters Glow Vortex. It is a multi-chrome, but it is like a finely milled, shimmery, beautiful, bright. It's more red. Oops, I forgot it had a red undertone. It's fine. But it's really pretty. I just love Oden's Eyes. Can I talk? Oden's Eyes multi-chromes are very pretty. I think some people who have really oily lids might not love them because they are so creamy. I can see them kind of becoming liney on your eyes, you know, as they settle into the creases because they are so creamy. I have experienced that once or twice with their formula on days when I'm like out working and sweating. There will be lines in my makeup at the end of the day, and I think it's just because it's such a creamy formula that it has a little excess moisture, I guess you could say. But besides that, and otherwise on a normal day, I don't have issues, and they're so pretty. They're so easy to work with, and they're so shifty. I love it. So this is the final look. I'm going to find, oh yeah, I need to do lipstick. I'm going to find a brown to put in my lip line, or in my waterline. Earthwood. We're going to do Earthwood. I think these are Earthwoods. Nope, that's Annette's. These are Earthwoods. Tina, yes, okay. I'm going to use one of hers. She has 2 shines and 1 glow. Glow is, if you missed my video, I will leave it linked down below and you can see all these swatched. But glow is basically a clear with glitter, like sparkly glitter in it. This is like a peachy tone, which I don't think is going to go with what I have. This is what we're going to do. I'm just so boring. I like a brown. Such a pretty color. I think it's interesting on here they put on the lipsticks Tina, but on the palette they put Fancy Face. I don't know why. Maybe because Tina's shorter, or maybe because she wrote her name, maybe like a signature, and then on the palette they put like her YouTube. I don't know. I'm just talking. All right. That's pretty, and I think that goes really well with the look. Especially kind of ties into that pink on my inner corner there, in my, what do you call it, crease. All right, so this is the final look. Gonna keep this outro pretty short and sweet because I do have to go, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick up right here pictures or video. I don't know which one I'm gonna have time to get, but the finished eye look with liner and lashes on it so you guys can see in this video, and hopefully I'll try to put it over on my Instagram at some point. Have no idea when though, so not making promises, and hence why I'm sticking in this video. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys found this video helpful, getting to see Earthwood palette being used on my eyes. As I said, I do have another look with it using the multi-chrome that I will put on my Instagram page at some point. I will try to keep it like the week of launch. I know the launch is in like 2-3 days, so I'm running out of time here, but gonna put it out as I am able to. And if you do get the palette, hopefully it'll be just helpful as far as like inspiration on what you can do with the palette. But with that said, congratulations to Tina. Keep on the lookout. As I said, I'm going to do the Spring Dragon palette that Judy did in collaboration with them next, and that should be the final palette to round out these collection of videos that I'm putting out, but hopefully they are helpful for you guys. So with that said, that's gonna do it for me. Thank you guys so very much for watching. As I said, I'm over on Instagram at LadyKaty92 if you want more content from me, and more hopefully like shorter videos with tutorials are gonna go over there. But yeah, with that said, that's gonna do it for me. I'll see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.